Defense led by Aaron Donald. Donald is dealing with a rib injury, but yesterday, Sean McVay said, quote, unless something unforeseen happens, the Terminator will be ready. So, Acho, do you expect the Rams to slow down Aaron Rodgers? Slow down.
I do expect the Rams to slow him down, but before we get there, we said Tom Brady was a very basic name. It's a very non-intimidating name. Aaron Donald is also pretty non-intimidating.
It is.
As long as I have Aaron Donald, I'm like, oh, what financial bank do you work at? You know, I'm not very intimidating.
And then he does this. It's like, what the hell?
I'm sorry, Aaron. Look, I think the Rams will slow him down because who haven't the Rams slowed down this season?
Ooh.
I'm a betting man, but I'm a betting man who works off of my eyes being my faith and seeing things and making educated guesses. In 12 of the Rams' 17 games this season, they held opponents to under their point-per-game average. Remember, there are games like their Dolphins game in there where they had a fumble return for a touchdown and a punt return for a touchdown. Has nothing to do with the defense. So really, 13 out of 17 games, they held opponents to their under points-per-game average. The other thing I told y'all last block, which I firmly believe to be true, especially as a defender, yes, it's a team versus a team. It's never necessarily about the individuals, but it is about individual matchups. So the reason the Packers go is not just because of Aaron Rodgers, but because of Devontae Adams. Who does he have to go against? One dude by the name of Jalen Ramsey, who happens to shut down every receiver he goes against. Ramsey's gone against 6 Pro Bowl receivers this year. Well, really, he's gone against a Pro Bowl receiver 6 times. He's faced a couple guys twice. DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins, DK Stephon Diggs. Y'all see the names. 6 games total, 10 receptions, 96 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jalen Ramsey's quietly having the best season of his illustrious career up to this point. So, do I see the Rams shutting them down? Yes, to a degree, as much as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers can and will be shut down all playoffs, because the Rams just have the people, they have the talent, they have the abilities to do so.
I don't think they're going to do anything. I think they're going to get beat down in this game. Just being real. And I love the Rams, but they're beat up. They're going to get beat down because they're beat up.
Fair.
Let's just look at the injuries before I even get into my full take. Jared Goff had thumb surgery. He's going to go out there and try to hand the ball off again. Or are you going to try to actually throw it this week? Oh, I forgot it's in Green Bay. Wonder if it's going to be cold. Wonder if your anchored thumb. Think about it. Holding the football, everybody holds the football. You can compromise some of these things. This one, And in the cold, we went to the beach yesterday, my family and I was just playing around with my little son. He can actually catch. Not bad. My wife, she sucks. She's horrible. And she kept saying, it's so hard. The ball's so hard. It was kind of cold last night. I was like, yeah, baby. So stop laughing when you see receivers drop it. We're going to laugh when Jared Goff is trying to throw in the cold with a compromised thumb. Let's talk about Aaron Donald and his ribs. Oh, last time I checked, when you have rib injuries, it's hard to breathe. Oh, okay, but he's Aaron Donald. He's the Terminator. I get it. He's a whole different machine out there. But he takes a lot of double teams. He takes a lot of triple teams. Let's talk about combo blocks. Forget the just combo block where they pass you off and then and I don't care what kind of flak jacket you have on. 2, 3, 300-pound men hitting right here, and you're already coming in compromised. Good luck with that one. Cooper Kupp, meaningless plays at the end of the game. All of a sudden, his knee goes out, and he's limping off the field. I just see too many injuries all around. But I have to push back in my first layer, get a little deeper dive. You said this #1 defense hasn't slowed down.
Who haven't they slowed down?
Sir. That's what you said. Did you watch my Buffalo Bills when they played? Yeah, week 3. How'd that go? You want to hear Josh Allen against that same defense? How'd that go? 319 total yards, 5 total touchdowns, 128 passer rating. Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers, which one you think is better right now?
Right now, about
Boy, stop. Gun to your head. Which one you gonna pick? Okay, there you go.
Why you so violent?
Because I'm from where I'm from. All right, let's bring in Fox NFL analyst LeVar Arrington. So, LeVar, you expect the Rams to slow down Aaron Rodgers?
I do. I do expect them to slow Aaron Rodgers down. And it's interesting. Well, you think about this, right? Acho threw out Jalen Ramsey and talked about how he's having one of the best years that he's ever had. Well, it's interesting because when you go to the other side with Troy Hill is actually having a better year statistically than even Jalen Ramsey. So the secondary, the corners, have not given up a play more than 20 yards all season long. Like that is a very impressive stat. Okay, now when you think about this as a whole, Jalen Ramsey is the lowest on the totem pole with 44 total tackles. The rest of them, you got a safety that has over 100 tackles. Now, y'all know football. You tell me, how crazy is that to have a safety that's linebacker numbers, to have over 100 tackles? So the point that I'm making here, a lot of yak is the reason why Green Bay does well. They get big plays downfield, but if they can't go downfield, what do? You got to drop the ball off into the flats. You got to drop it off into the flares, and you got to hope for those yards after the catch. You're not going to get those yards after the catch because these guys tackle too well and they don't give up the ball deep. So they're going to have a running attack because they are going to slow up Aaron Rodgers in the passing attack.
We talked about Jalen Ramsey and the illustrious career, the illustrious season he's having. I would say that, LeVar, you've been in your bag lately. You and your researcher done come with these notes, talking about Troy Hill and whatnot. I'm like, okay, LeVar, spend an extra time on prep. I hear you.
Dog.
Come on, man.
Look, we aren't a hardcore analysis show at times because we got to give y'all these opinions and these jokes. But if we can really quickly talk about why did the Rams dominate last week against the Seahawks? Because the Seahawks are used to thriving off of the big play. DK Metcalf for 50. Tyler Lockett for plus 40 to the house. But against the Rams, they were like, nah, if y'all going to beat us, y'all going to have to march methodically all the way down the field and hope for the best. I think methodically is a word. Somebody correct me, though.
You made up a word.
I like it.
Methodically, the last page of the dictionary, he just added one. And one dictionary. Take that. That's my co-host, fool.
Hey,
Webster.
give me the foul, man. Methodically. Methodically?
Yes.
Methodically and methodology.
No, it's okay. Just move on.
No, I mean,
it's okay. We got you. We understood.
Just because I write books, don't know I know the words in the books. Okay, let's not get it twisted.
Okay.
Look, the fact of the matter is the Rams are going to force the Packers to move. I'm not using that word again because I'm still confused.
Okay.
They're going to force them to move incrementally. There we go.
One syllable words this morning before.
They're going to force them to inch down the field. Y'all know what I'm saying. Marcellus, you go ahead.
Yes, I shall. You see how that? Yes, I shall. One syllable. Nah, let's be real. Aaron Rodgers, y'all act like he's scared of some top defense showing up. He's faced one top 5 scoring defense this season. Week 3 at the Saints, number 5 scoring defense. Oh, he lit the Saints up. 21-32, 283, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 125 passer rating. More important is the fact that that's the most points given up by the Saints all season. And now he's going to see a Rams defense that is strong. We get it. But they're compromised, guys. And the last thing is just to push back at my man, Mr. Arrington. I don't think that tackles is a great measurement for cornerbacks or even safeties, being real. Because think about it, if you're Jalen Ramsey, they don't throw the ball your way because you're so tremendous. So what that means is fewer picks and fewer tackles because there are fewer opportunities. You cut off half the field. So all the action usually happens away from you. All of that said, I'm looking at an Aaron Rodgers who, of all the quarterbacks, look at this nugget. The last 5 quarterbacks to lead the NFL, and Aaron Rodgers is one of them, in completion percentage, passing touchdowns, and passer rating in the same season, like Aaron Rodgers just did, they all went to the Super Bowl. You think Aaron Rodgers is sitting there scared of a beat-up defense that's coming in with a compromised quarterback as well? I don't think he is.
How you try to move the goalposts, but I'm going to push back and say this.
Okay, push.
The fact that the secondary tackles is really, you got to think about this. When Aaron Rodgers has not had the most prolific game of throwing the ball, what has he had to bail him out? His running game.
Yeah, of course.
His running game has been good. He's got 3 backs. Aaron Jones, to me, is right up there with Kamara in terms of how and Henry as best in the league, most dynamic in the league. The run has been there to bail him out. So when you're able to run the ball, missile screens, slip screens, jet sweeps, different things like that are fast developing plays, it's not going to be your defensive front that's going to make those plays. It's going to be your secondary guys. And that's why it's critically important to look at the fact that you have big, strong secondary guys that are willing to play physical football. It's going to change the dimensions of the game for Green Bay. They're going to have to be able to run the ball and establish the run to be able to open their passing game. And that's going to be very